Hello, everyone. It's Susan Phelps.
And Judy Atari.
And as you can see by Judy's background, she's in our Lakewood branch office where she lives most often. And I'm home with a palm tree growing out of my head. But hello, folks. We're here today to share with you the June. It is July. We have the June market stats to share with you for the Manatee and Sarasota County real estate. So let's get started. Judy, I'm going to share my screen and I'll show the charts and you take it from there. Okay.
There we go. So Manatee County real estate market continues to be very strong. Back-to-back months of increased sales over last year, which was 2022 was a pretty record-breaking year. So we still have a lot of strong buyer activity, and the market seems pretty resilient as opposed to some other things we're seeing in the news.
Okay. Yeah. Close.
Sarasota?
Why don't you just do all of Manatee so we don't get confused and confuse our viewers?
Yeah, we'll just stick with Manatee and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So we had 759 closed sales in Manatee. So that doesn't mean you've signed a contract. It means you've closed and taken ownership. And again, these figures probably do not include all of the new construction homes that are in our market too. Some are in here, some are not.
Right.
And then condo sales, so Manatee County, a single home increase was almost 18%, 17.7% increase in sales, and condo sales increased by 12%. And it was 297 sales for that.
And these are year-over-year figures.
Year-over-year figures for June. And single family home prices in Manatee County decreased year over year by 4.5% to 525,000. Still pretty strong, still significantly higher than say 2020. So it's still a really strong market. Our supply, so a lot of times we talk in this report about our supply or how many months supply, and remember 6 months supply is a balanced market. The condo supply increased to 3.4 months, which is really good. And single family homes are at 2.8 months. Still an increase, but still a seller's market. Sellers are still in the driving seat here. So that's like a 50% increase, but still lacking. Another thing we're seeing is how long homes are staying on the market. Now in these figures, some houses are still selling in a day or two, and some are selling in 6 months. So don't be alarmed if your house is in one of those. The median numbers from date to contract, so that's when you go into your agreement, is 37 days for single family homes and 34 days for condos. And I was looking for the, oh darn, I lost my numbers for how many days to close. But overall, generally about a month more than those. So it's still a really strong market. I know I'm still very busy. Our new home sales market is also quite strong. So that's pretty much your snapshot for Manatee County. If you want to list your home, I would love to help you.
Well, yes, we're definitely listing experts as well as new home sales experts, and we are hyper local experts. So if what this means is, we're looking in specific areas because, like Judy said, some days the on market are shorter for properties that are still in very hot sections, hot areas in the market that we narrow down, and people we know what the most popular places are to live. Anyway, so I'm going to move us over here, Judy, and talk about the Sarasota County closed sales, which, interestingly enough, went down 4.1% year as opposed to last year, and the condos went up a little bit. we're looking at, year over year, but we still have a very strong market. That decrease in 4.1% isn't that much. Median prices continue to rise 4.5% in a year's time. I mean, that's less than what we used to see in 2020 to 2022, but that's still a significant increase overall in prices. For condos, it went down some. We see a 6.3% decrease. So we're at 522.5, which is very close to the median price in Manatee County for single family homes and 390 for condos. We are looking at a growing inventory. There's a few more houses on the market, single family homes, than in Manatee County, but as opposed to last year at this time, it's an 88% increase of supply in the market and 133% increase for condos in Sarasota County.
Yeah, didn't we have like 1 month or not even a few months last year?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at weeks and everybody, that was when things were just crazy.
We're still seeing too, I had a meeting this morning with some of the people from the Lakewood Ranch office, and we're still seeing multiple offers on sales. Not all the time, but we are. Somebody in our office said they lost a sale. There was 11 offers in a day or two on this one. So there's still some competition. So I think if people are looking to buy in the market, take that realistically that you're probably going to offer fairly close to listing if it's listing appropriately. So keep the advice of your professional realtor. Right.
Well, we try to indicate to our customers that and I looked at all of the breakdowns for single family homes, condos in both counties, and we're still looking at 96 to 100% of asking price is the bottom line sales price. So nobody's winning an offer unless the property was just ridiculously priced, and then you look at the days on market and you can see, well, it's still sitting there. All of that information has to come together and make sense for a buyer or seller, and we're going to help you do that.
Definitely. And we've talked a little too about like cash sales. Cash sales are down slightly over last year, but we still have a lot of cash buyers. Buyers are competing with. And we have very few, again, distressed sales. An example, but people are like, I'm just going to wait, or I want to only look at distressed sales. I'm like,
there's none to look at, right? And it's not a great time for investors on the market.
No.
I get texts all the time from 3 or 4 companies, and they're looking. I'm like, this is just not your game right now.
Yeah, definitely. But overall, really strong.
I wanted to compare. We have a shorter days on market, time to contract than Manatee, but the same for condos.
Yeah.
Same for condos.
Normally, our market is usually a lot quieter in June, July, and August. And everybody from that meeting this morning, everyone's like, I'm still really busy, or I feel more busy than I did in March, which is normally when we're absolutely exhausted.
Right.
So it's a good solid market here.
Our summer season just continues. We are, generally speaking, suggesting for sellers that if they're going to put their house on the market, that now's the best time to start getting it prepped. And if you've got any kind of construction that needs to be done to your house, or painting, and you need to hire somebody, you better think well ahead, because the availability of skilled workers, the people that have their own companies that paint or that do any kind of remodeling or repair, they are booked. They're booked out. So sellers need to prepare for the season, for the post-summer season coming up. And for buyers, what all this means is when that season starts, based on what we're seeing here in the last couple of months, you are going to have more to choose from. Your inventory increase allows you to have a better, more
choices.
options, and it may not be quite as competitive. Just get your ducks in a row, be ready to jump on a finance offer, especially in the new home market. If you're going to finance, we're going to focus in on the incentives that many of the builders are still
Right.
offering for buying down the rate, because, oh dear, it's hit again. We've had another increase. Maybe this is the last one, Judy. I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And some sellers of resale homes, some of them are even putting those offers in, like, we'll offer up to so many $1,000 to help buy down the rate. So,
Right.
or maybe that's something buyers ask for. So there's a lot of creative, options out there still.
Right.
And interest rates are higher.
I mentioned this last month, but sellers that have an assumable mortgage that's at a lower rate, if they bought, a couple, 3 years ago, that is a great way to sell your house. Sell it, assume that mortgage, and they get that rate that you had. But, we've got to look into that and see what kind of loan you have. So, and I mentioned before, be ready to make a decent offer.
Right.
Beware that we are still looking at sales very close to the listing price.
Yep. Yep. I did a market update on a community last month, and they were averaging 97% of asking price, which is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And it was a community that the houses were built like between 2005 and 2010 maybe. And so, it's holding its own quite well. But the houses seem to be very properly priced. So
okay,
get in there. Yep.
So Judy and I have, I don't know, we have maybe a handful of videos coming up, Judy.
Yep. We just got to get some dates solidified with some people. So yeah.
I just sent you an email about Cardell. They're building a North River Ranch.
Yep.
We have a new model at
Crosswind Point for Casa Fresco.
Right. Yeah.
So they're pretty exciting on that side. They have 55-foot wide lots now, where they had a more narrow lot before. They're still offering both, but they have a house takes advantage of that wider lot, which is fantastic.
Okay. Medallion
Homes, we're expecting to do some villas in Parish. Really nice.
And Taylor Morrison is doing more townhomes in Nokomis.
Oh, cool. There you go.
A whole separate community of townhomes, very, very near Nokomis Beach.
Oh, that's nice. And Coulter they announced in a realtor meeting, but I'm going to say it now.
Right.
There's a new Coulter community coming to Parish. It's not going to be a Crestwind, so it's not going to be as amenity rich as Crestwind, but we do have a new Coulter community that they're actively working on the land development right now. And that is going to be a great option for people too. So no models started yet, but there's still a lot of stuff still happening.
There's a lot of stuff still happening, and we're going to stay on top of it, folks. And I'm going to show you one more thing today. I would like you to take a look at the newsletter that goes out every month that includes the report that we just gave and lots of information about the area. And interesting articles, updates on transportation improvements. And there's going to be a link in the bottom of the in the description for you to send in your email and get on that newsletter list.
And so, if you haven't watched it yet, look for our hurricane video, because we think there's a lot of useful information there.
That's been getting a lot of views. That's really, it's as condensed as we can make it, because everything is important when it comes to hurricane preparedness.
A lot of information.
Did you get your windows in?
No, so they've arrived.
Good.
So we signed a contract, I think, in April. We got through permitting in a month. The windows are in. Mid-August, we're going to get our windows. So hurricane windows are on the way. But there's an example of a vendor that took a few months, and they kind of hurried us along. We used that as a negotiating tactic because another vendor could get them to us earlier. So we're like, okay, we'll get them if you can get them in by this date.
Right.
So they managed somehow to do that. But yeah, so the windows are coming.
Good deal. Okay. Well, folks, we won't keep you any longer. Look for us next month. Check into our videos. Please subscribe, like, and comment below. Keep watching. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.